progress you are making, and when do you expect to pitch in the big leagues?
As soon as possible. Yesterday was a good day. Another step in the right direction. Came in today feeling really, really good. Was able to, move my arm around and, soreness in all the good spots. So just got to keep trucking forward.
Can you talk about your rehab and how tough was it?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a grind, as mental as it is physical, but, I'm hopefully on the back end of this now. So, yeah, I mean, it's not a fun process. I mean, I've learned a lot about, myself, a lot about my body and pitching and all that stuff, but, I definitely wouldn't want to have to do that again.
Alex said yesterday that after your next live BP back in Fort Myers, that you could begin your rehab assignment after that. Any sense of how many you would need to build up sufficiently?
No, I don't know. This is really my first time going through anything like this. I wouldn't assume it's going to be a whole lot. I mean, I don't think I need like 7 starts, and if we keep having days like I had yesterday, then I would say sooner rather than later. But I also know not to get too far ahead of myself in this process. So, I don't have an exact answer for that question, but I'm feeling good, and I know that, if I keep doing what I'm doing, it'll be quicker, than not.
And has there been any discussion about, finding that balance between obviously not pushing you too far too soon, building up arm strength, but also not kind of, as they say, wasting bullets at the minor league level? That, there'll come a point where you're strong enough to do this, so why not be doing it at the major league level?
Absolutely. And I think 2 things are gonna tell us that, and that's, what I look like when I'm pitching on the mound during those games and sim games or, rehab games, whatever it is, and how I bounce back the next day. Those are the 2 biggest things for me right now. How's the ball look when I'm out there pitching, and when I wake up the next morning, what does it feel like? And like I said, those are going to be the 2 biggest keys from here on out, more so than anything else.
With that said, Chris,
y'all getting bored with me?
I got one for you, man. With that said, though, how satisfying is it for you when you get the feedback from a simulated inning like you did yesterday, where not only everybody's liking what they're seeing, but you're topping the velocity at about 95, and you're also coming back on a day like this where you feel good?
Yeah, the biggest thing for me is the feedback. Otto and Eddie, and so obviously a couple of other guys have seen me throw. And with Bushy, they're literally right behind me watching. You got Tech, AC, a handful of other people watching me from behind the catcher, and I have 2 of my teammates, in the box facing me, and obviously, Pleku behind the plate. So I have a lot of different angles and a lot of people that have seen me throw a lot watching me do this, and it's awesome to see, like, okay, there were a couple times I would throw a pitch and I'm walking back and I would look at them. I said, that one felt good. And they're like, yeah, that came out. So you're getting like some instant feedback and just bouncing some ideas off of guys and getting true reads, like what it looks like in the box, what it looks like from this angle. So, I do appreciate, the numbers and some of the stuff that comes with that, but the velocity for me isn't a big thing right now. When I get into, my rehab games, I'll want to see what I'm carrying for a bulk, what I'm topping out at, what the low points are and stuff like that. But right now, just the appearance, what it looks like coming out of my hand, how it feels coming out of my hand. And like I said, the next day waking up, how's this thing rolling? So, I appreciate everything. There was a lot of guys helping me out in this process. Everybody in this clubhouse in one way, shape, or form has made me better on a day. And I can't be thankful enough for that.
Chris, do you can you talk about the Red Sox start, and do you feel that you may be the missing link for them to win the World Series?
I mean, that's the plan. I mean, our staff has done a hell of a job up to this point. Just like everyone else. I mean, we've taken our lumps. We've had, you know, a stretch or two, but when the time comes to step up, you know, Martin last night, that's a big start out of him. Nate the other day. I mean, Eddie's getting back on track. Pavetta's starting to feel his stuff, you know. Garrett, same thing. He's starting to get a feel for some of the new things he's introducing. So it's you know, through the year, it's a kind of an evolution, and these guys have been holding it down unbelievably well. We wouldn't be in the position we are. I mean, we got the best offense in baseball. There's no doubt about that, but you got to throw the ball too. And our guys have done an unbelievable job of keeping us in games and putting big starts up when we need it. And for me, I just got to come in and do my job. I got to continue that, you know, body of work that they've been doing the whole year.
Chris, what have you thought about Garrett Whitlock's, you know, stuff, especially the slider that he's using more now?
It's been unbelievable to watch him develop in the big leagues. It's amazing to think that this guy, I mean, I'll just say, I mean, to think that this guy was kind of given up on, and we got him for nothing, and he never pitched. I don't think he pitched above AAA, right? And, you know, for him to come here with the confidence he has, and, you know, you've seen a couple slips, and then he's right back on track. And the feel he has for his secondary pitches, the mentality he goes out to the mound with, is unbelievable. You know, just talking with him, you can tell he's got a good head on his shoulders, and he's in the right spot doing what he's supposed to do. So, you know, just watching his career unfold is going to be a fun thing to watch.
Chris, watching
Alex
this. Yep. Go ahead, John.
Next one. Alex said yesterday that the plan was probably not to have you start at the bottom of the minor league level, like no Greenville or Salem, but to have you kind of work out of Fenway and pitch closer by either Portland or Worcester. You've talked about how much you like being around the major league team and, you know, being in that big league environment. How much more palatable does that make the rehab appearance road to you, that you're not, you know, flying into Greenville or Salem for a day and then leaving, but you can kind of be with the big league team and pitch nearby at upper levels of the minor league?
I will say that will help the process. But on the flip side of that, if you told me I had to go to wherever, I don't care. I'll go to New Zealand to make a start if I have to. It doesn't matter to me. I'm excited to get this thing going. I want to get back in the games. I want to compete. So, you know, once the ball's in my hand and I'm standing on a mound, I don't care where I'm at. But, you know, having said that too, being able to be around, you know, these guys, the coaches, you know, the big league trainers, the guys that have seen me, you know, day in and day out for years now, and being able to come back and forth is going to be nice. Plus, I think it's genius what they've done with this, having all of our affiliates, you know, the AA, AAA, and the major league team all within, you know, an hour or two. You know, Worcester's like 45 minutes from here. Portland's, you know, 2 hours from here. So it makes it a lot easier for us to, you know, call guys up, send guys out on assignment, and it'll make it easier for me.
Chris, we're halfway through the season. You mentioned what the team was doing, and you've kind of been in a unique situation where you're not taking the field, right? But you're closer to this team than any of us. You've seen what this team is doing. You've seen what they've been capable of here through the first half. What's impressed you the most? What about this team has surprised, impressed you more than anything else?
Just the grit. I think that when I think of this team, I just think of grit, like just sandpaper. there's not an ounce of quit in anybody. And this is a team that's kind of constructed with grinder guys, like guys that just don't take no for an answer, never give up. How many come behind wins have we had? You know, how many times have we been down 3-4 runs in the first inning, second inning, or in the 6th or 7th inning, and come back and gotten that. And, you know, if and when our starter did stumble a little bit, our offense is right there to pick us up. Bullpen's right there to keep it where it's at. And then, you know, the back end of our bullpen is about as strong as anybody. So I think that this team is really gritty. We find ways to win on days that we probably shouldn't win. And that's a good quality to have.
You've got a lot of that. For all your elite talent, you've always been a guy who competes that way. Not that you need more motivation or excitement to return to this team, but your role on a team like that has that kind of grit. How exciting is it when you sort of project these last couple of months for you?
Yeah, I don't want to get too ahead of myself, but it is an exciting thought. I do know that when I do get back here and when we start rolling and getting into games and stuff like that, I'm going to be I'll be ready to go. That's for sure.
Thanks. On that note, Chris, you mentioned last time how you had to keep blinders on during the process of trying to work your way back. At what point do you think you'll allow yourself to feel some excitement?
I don't know, man. Like I said, this has been a long road, and like I said, there's been some good days, there's been some bad days, and I've learned to just every day is a blessing, man. I wake up and whatever that day brings, I crush it, and I don't think about what's coming tomorrow. I don't think about what happened yesterday. You know, kind of that win today mentality. That's something that's said around here a lot. You know, yesterday no one cares about, tomorrow no one knows about, so let's win today. And that's where I'm at right now. I know that when I get into, you know, my rehab assignment and I'm throwing 4 innings out there, I'm throwing 5 innings out there, you know, God willing, you know, it's going to be hard not to think about that stuff. But I can't go there right now. I can't. I got to focus on what I got today, crush it, come in tomorrow, same thing.